that writing essays has shown me.
Hello, it's Ruby and it's October. It's the penultimate day of October and that makes me so sad because October is my absolute favourite time of the year and I'm never as happy as I am in October. Look at that! I love how all the windows have misted up. This is my main writing book. It's a moleskin and as you can see I'm like a third of the way through this one and this is the one I had before that. This is just the handwriting parts of my book because there's something so connected about handwriting. It's only really in the last 2 years that I've developed this affinity for handwriting over typing. I find that when I'm sat there handwriting, it's so much easier to kind of pretend you actually are the character in that moment. So I will pretend that I am her and I'm sat here kind of like pouring my heart out. She couldn't do that on a laptop because she lived in 1870. She didn't have access to a laptop and actually she didn't have access to these beautiful Pilot V-ball pens either. Actually, I'm going to do it on parchment with dipping pen. That's so much more fun. It's so funny because it feels to me like you've just given me that idea, even though you haven't. But it's in the virtual filming that that idea has come up. I recently dropped this pen on the floor and it landed in the wood like this, so I think the nib is probably damaged, which is very, very sad because this is an actual Victorian nib and it's my favourite one because it's a lovely flat nib, if you can see. So I'm really hoping that it still writes. Oh. Ah, that's so sad. I can feel the truth pulsing through my blood like a sickness. Everyone's asleep, but the sheets are scratching, and the unfamiliar street beyond is bloated with strange noises. I'm just going to pop it in a little envelope. It's a diary entry more than a letter, but still, I want to have it in this notebook so I can refer back to it because I love having all of the stuff for the book together in one place. And I might seal it, but I'm not going to do that yet because then I won't be able to write on this for ages. I'm just in awe. I'm looking at these colours and I can't believe that they're real. My mum and I were talking about this actually like an hour ago, and how whenever you look at them, and like for this last week where the colours have been the most vibrant that they've been, like you almost cry every time that you look at them. And it's because you know that they're at their peak and you know they're just about to fall. It feels solemn. There's a quietness to autumn, which is so different to, you know, the really vibrant birdsong that you get in spring and summer. And there still is birdsong, like I can hear birds right this moment. These are actually probably birds that have flown south to England. I don't know what they are. Such bountiful colour as this can be a gift only from the angels, a delight so gloriously and selflessly given from the trees. Such gifts as these, art made from your goodbyes, bled like paint onto this canvas which now I sit in. Oh, why must this be so beautiful? O world, how can it be? Perhaps it is simply something we have mistaken, that such things are not to be sad, and that our losses are gifts. I must say, I just love taking a notebook outside and sitting and writing. Today I was writing in my Commonplace book. A Commonplace book is a place where you can collate ideas and thoughts and quotes, and I just love adding to mine. I'm going away to Scotland, which I'm so excited about, but I need to write a packing list. I always like to write a packing list. And then there is a tiny bit of my novel I want to write, and I want to plan for my therapy session because I've got therapy in like an hour. I am now cutting to the next day, which was the final day of October, which of course also happens to be Halloween. Not that I was really doing anything specific for Halloween, though I did light this pumpkin candle, so possibly that counts. And I was semi-dressed like Coraline with the little seeing stone necklace. I was doing some journaling here. I've really got into journaling recently, and I just love the way that they turn out. I love how personal they are and how each page is very individual, and I love how they never look quite perfect. I also added this beautiful John Darien sticker on the front of this journal because it's quite a new one. I only started it 2 weeks ago. I've just done some reflections, but they're quite private, so I'm not going to share them. I will, however, show you this side. This was a Coraline inspired day that I journaled about, and I've left all of this space because I wanted to add some stills from Coraline, but I haven't done it yet. I'm going to use my mini printer. This is it, and I'm just going to use my phone to find some fun Coraline photos. I just love the film Coraline. I cannot tell you how much. I watched it last night with a mango milkshake, if you know you know, and oh, I've got like 15 minutes left of it, and I'm really looking forward to watching it this afternoon. Now, while I did choose my photos here, I didn't print them because I was suddenly aware that I only had like 5 hours until I was catching the train to Scotland, and so I made my way through some more urgent tasks. This parcel just came. It's a genuine 1880s bodice, like a Victorian bodice, and somehow it actually fits. I can't believe that. And it reminds me of Alice in Wonderland, the Tim Burton one. Anyway, there is a class I've been meaning to do. It's on writing personal essays. I've been really wanting to do this class. I'm doing it on Skillshare. Skillshare is a fantastic place where you can learn basically any skill. So this particular class is by the amazing Roxane Gay, and it's packed full of useful advice. I was taking notes while doing the class and really walked away with a new perspective on what the personal essay can achieve and the peculiarities of this as a form.
Because writing without purpose just becomes aimless.
Skillshare is packed full of classes. Honestly, you can learn basically anything on Skillshare. Graphic design, you can learn film editing, you can learn writing, and you learn from experts, but experts that are real people. Like, it's very personable as a teaching style. The writing classes are my personal favourites because I think it's so important to learn from writers in order to improve the craft yourself. I've actually got a class on Skillshare too, all about commonplacing and how you can start a commonplace book. This is my commonplace book, which I talk about no end, I know that. If you do want to try Skillshare and learn a new skill, who doesn't want to learn something new, then the first 500 people to click on the link in the description box or scan this nifty little QR code can not only get 1 month of Skillshare for free, but also get 20% off their first year of Skillshare after that. But I'm going to do a little bit more of this, and then I need to start packing because I'm going to Scotland tonight. We're getting a sleeper train tonight, which is so exciting. Also, talk about the perfect learning environment. It's just started raining. I've got a pumpkin candle burning, and I've got Roxane Gay telling me about personal essays. In October. Like, how could that not be perfect?
an academic background. This is all about the ethical appeal and making sure that you are being honest and true in your work.
I might journal with this later because I'm worried I might not have time to pack if I don't. This is my very messy of non-clothing items I'm bringing with. There are lots of notebooks, lots of books. I've got like a Terry Pratchett here, for example. This is the case I am bringing. I am bringing my nice massive trunk, even though I'm going with Blakeney and Blakeney's not bringing a suitcase, and so I know I'm about to overpack, but we're gone for quite a while, so I do have a very comprehensive packing list already, but packing always takes so much longer than I expect it to take. I'm also going to get changed out of this because I'm worried that I'm going to hurt it. Okay, let's pack. I'm bringing this dress from Sonderfloor because it's very warm and I prefer walking in skirts to walking in trousers. These are the shorts I'm bringing, which I'll wear with tights. This is my favourite cardigan and I got it in the Isle of Arran from the old buyer, and every time I've been to Scotland since I've had to bring it. It's one of my most worn items of clothing. And then I'm also going to bring this jumper, which is from the Common Room shop. It's very cosy and I feel like it would be perfect for when we're in the cottage. And then bringing my tartan skirt. I'm bringing two tops, a shirt and a sweater vest. I'm away for 6 days, but I kind of want to bring this one as well because it's just so cozy, but I probably don't need it. And then my pyjamas are going in my rucksack because, as I say, we are on a sleeper train. I thought I'd quickly show you all of the books that I brought to Scotland. Honestly, it was a ridiculous number of books. I did not read or get through all of these. This is how many I bought. I've got the Book of English Magic. Then this is the fiction book I'm reading at the moment, We've Always Lived in the Castle. The Weird Sisters by Terry Pratchett. I bought The Canterville Ghost, which we read on the train because we were there on Halloween night. So at midnight we were reading The Canterville Ghost by Oscar Wilde. I also brought Addie LaRue because every time I've been in Scotland, I've wished I've had this with me. I always crave this story when I'm in Scotland, and I think it's because the first time I went to Scotland I was reading this book. To Autumn by John Keats. Season of mist and mellow fruitfulness, close bosom friend of the maturing sun, conspiring with him how to load and bless with fruit the vines that round the thatch eaves run, to bend with apples the moss-covered trees, and to fill all fruit with ripeness to the core, to swell the gourd and plump the hazel shells with a sweet kernel, to set budding more and still more later flowers for the bees, until they think warm days will never cease, for summer has o'erbrimmed their clammy cells. These jeans are so wet, and I'm planning on going on a sleeper train this evening with wet jeans, so maybe it's a bad idea. I probably need to change out of these and dry them. Have any pumpkins come out? This one is still very green. I don't understand how it's so green. This one, this is the only one that actually looks like a pumpkin, but it's still not the right colour. I feel like they're not fully grown yet. One here, and another green one here. And even though they're not perfectly ready yet, I want to pick one so we can put it outside our door for the trick-or-treaters. So I think maybe this one, this is the best looking, even though none of them came out the right colour. Do you know how you cut pumpkins, huh? I forget that this bit's actually kind of spiky, but there we go. A beautiful green pumpkin, and on this side at least it's kind of orange. What is it? So then after that, and because it was Halloween, I made some pumpkin juice. I didn't use one of my slightly underdeveloped pumpkins from the patch. Instead, I used some canned pumpkin. I always feel like this is the best kind for pumpkin juice, and I always mix it with water, maple syrup and cinnamon. It's incredibly easy, but one of my favourite drinks, and I haven't had it for ages. And then I made some mini pumpkin Pop-Tart pie things, and I packed these up to bring to the train. I met Blakeney at the station ready to go on the Caledonia sleeper train, which was actually incredible, the best train journey of my life, and I will share some more of it in my next video, which will be a Scotland vlog. Scotland is my favourite country, and I was overjoyed to be back.